Soulmates TV. My name is Tamara Pitelen and I'm joined today by Vanya Silverten. This is the third in our series of Tea and Biscuits with the Universe. Today we are going to talk about affirmations, positive affirmations. The foundation stone of the mind, body, spirit industry. The reason that a lot of books like this are out there and sold in multiple quantities. And just to recap, if you haven't watched any of our previous episodes, Vanya is a professional theta healer. She has this ability to tap into and connect with the source of everything, universal energy, collective consciousness, creator, call it what you will, but she is able to receive information on any subject we care to talk about.
Absolutely.
So today we're going to give positive affirmations a go.
Let's do it.
And the reason we decided to talk about this is because Vanya and I we live in this space when everyone talks about you've got to be positive and say lots of positive affirmations, and I've always thought I'm not really sure that's all there is to it.
Yeah.
It doesn't always seem to work, and I could read some of these, no offence to Louise Hay, I think you're fantastic Louise, but I could say some of these till I'm blue in the face. I don't think they're going to change my life. From a connected to creator type standpoint, what is creator's take on positive affirmations and how can they change your life or not?
I think what's happening is that we're not connecting to the vibrational consciousness of the affirmation. So we're very good at saying the sentence out loud and being very mental, and this is what's going to happen, I'm going to be happy every single moment of the day, I'm happy, I'm happy, I'm happy, I'm happy. And there's actually quite a lot of force and control and attachment to outcome going on. So just by having that energy behind those words, you're not actually allowing that consciousness or that vibration of happiness to kind of connect with you. So really what should be happening is words are very powerful and they do connect us to different vibrations. They do connect us to different consciousnesses. Certain words are going to give us insight and, help us to understand things in a new way or a different way. So they're little gateways of consciousness, really, if used in the right way. So it's not necessarily the words that you're saying, but it's how you're energetically vibrating with the consciousness of that. And the only way I can express that is that we have this amazing spiritual bank account, if you will, of all the vibrations of the universe and all the different consciousnesses, from love to abundance to joy to happiness to connectivity. And if we choose to vibrate with those moments or those frequencies, then we'll start to understand the lessons or the learnings behind those frequencies. And then you're more likely to experience happiness because you're actually learning what happiness is, if that makes sense.
It does make sense. I do wonder though why some people have such trouble connecting to some of these vibrations or frequencies, because I know a lot of people struggle with a lack of financial abundance, just can't seem to get what they want in life, and that's why they're doing these affirmations.
We've got to get there, got to get there.
So, what can we say to people or try to help people who are just searching for a way to improve their lives, but not being able to do that? And if affirmations aren't working, how do they connect to that frequency that you've been talking about?
Okay. So number one is that we have a lot of limiting beliefs that are stored in our subconscious, either from what we've learnt as children, what we've learnt from our genes, what we've learnt from the collective consciousness. So there's a lot of kind of data or programs within us that say life isn't abundant. And so, or you have to work hard to make money, or the genes are structured from the family, if you come from farmers, that if you don't work hard for money, you're not going to make any money, kind of thing. So there's a lot of subconscious programs that are being played out, which kind of give us that experience of pushing a boulder up a hill. We're wanting to get to this experience of abundance, but yet we've got all these subconscious limiting beliefs that we've got to try and also push up the hill with us to try and achieve that moment. So, that's why obviously healing modalities and things like that have come into play, to try and release or delete or transform some of the negative programs within the subconscious, so that your conscious mind and your subconscious mind aren't conflicting.
Right.
Because it's the conscious mind which is like, I'm in abundance, this looks great. But if your subconscious mind is going, no, we're doing poverty, then your energy is kind of splitting in two, which gives you that whole dual polarity kind of experience. So
Yeah.
It's all about, I guess, clearing them on some level.
Problem is, most people don't know that they're carrying all these subconscious beliefs about
I know.
a lack of abundance, and I must struggle, and I can only earn if I work really hard, and even then I don't earn much. You've got all this stuff going on. You don't know that.
Yeah, of course
You just don't know why you're not getting ahead and you're not getting the pay rise.
Working.
Yeah. So you're saying that for people who do want to start shifting some of those subconscious beliefs that they don't even know they have, you've got to get yourself down to an energy healer.
Yeah.
Is there any other way beyond that?
Of course, self-reflection, looking at your family patterns, choosing another option. We make choices all the time. I'm sure you've looked at your parents or your mum and your dad and think, geez, do you know I'm not going to repeat that one because they've done it this way, I need to do it a new way. Just even, surrounding yourself by people who are amazing. That's going to change the way that you start to see life and perceive life. I think there was a saying that said, if you're the smartest person in your group, you're in the wrong group.
Right.
So it's all about also finding those people around you to vibrate or who are experiencing abundance, so you start to move into that.
Right, so maybe they can trigger that kind of thing in you.
Yeah.
How do they trigger abundance in you and not jealousy or envy in you, though?
Oh, aren't we complicated?
Yeah, aren't we? Oh, layers. Layers.
I know, it's true, I know. Jealousy and sense of lack is also something that we need to move out of as well. So if you're feeling jealous, notice it. And then from that place of I am jealous, then you can look at saying, let's move out of that pattern. Let's find a new way to relate to people. So you can't just deny the jealousy that's there. I think it's important to acknowledge it if it's there, but you need to work through it.
And perhaps observe it. And this is where maybe, if you're inclined that way, you can maybe step into a place of meditation and just observe the way you're feeling and the way you're reacting and the language you're choosing.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so your clues to your own subconscious beliefs can also be found in the language you use.
The language you use, the actions you take, or the reactions. So if you're reacting in a certain way. And I think we've got to become the observers of ourselves.
Right.
And that way we're kind of tapping more into our spirit or more into our higher self or soul, and we're observing our little mind or our little body playing out its reaction to life. And when we have a higher perspective, then we've got more of a chance of re-educating those lower parts of us to start, evolving and things like that.
So just jumping back to positive affirmations, do they have a place?
I think so. I think what they're doing is they're opening up new ways of thinking. So, I've read lots of positive affirmations. I may not have said it 20 times a day to bring it into my life, but I've read them and gone, oh wow, that's a nice way to think. Or it's gone, oh wow, I can look at people in that way. Or, oh, I can see life in a new perspective. So I think they're quite refreshing.
Right, and they can give little micro flashes of insight.
Yeah, exactly. And they do. The more you get these positive affirmations around, or start looking at life does start to change, because instead of seeing the glass half full, instead of seeing the glass half empty, you're starting to see the glass as half full, which is a big change in itself.
Yeah.
So I do think they have a place, and they are beautiful, but there are reasons why they don't work.
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah.
They might work all the time. Just one last thing on this. I know that you've had hundreds, possibly thousands of clients over the last 6 years that come to you for all sorts of things, but I'd also know that relationships and money are two of the biggies.
Of course, yeah.
Everyone's
A
over
lot of money.
Oh yeah. So the people who presented to you, just generally speaking, obviously, what kind of things have they needed to heal in order to shift some of these, or what kind of poverty beliefs are very common in us as humans?
Yeah, a lot of the poverty consciousness actually comes from our ancestors.
Okay.
Struggling, surviving. I've seen people where, they were in war-torn countries and had to move to another country when they were like 2 or 3. So from that young age, that experience also gave them this, like, everything's going to be taken away from us. Mm-hmm. And so they tend to hoard or just hold on to the little bit as opposed to opening up into receiving more. So a lot of it is ancestral historical beliefs around poverty. And we've only really started, I guess, in human, maybe in the West, more coming into more of an abundant kind of lifestyle in the last 20 years, 30 years. So, it's a lot of historical ancestral stuff which carries down.
Right. As far as craze is concerned, can everybody on this planet, all 7 billion of us, is it possible for us all to be abundant? Because we're so stuck in this less and more.
I know,
Some have and some don't have.
I know, and it's quite extreme actually between the haves and the have-nots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it doesn't seem to be
Getting any better.
No.
Yeah. I think, you know, you have to believe in utopia.
Yeah.
And I believe that humanity has the potential and that it has a long way still to go to get there. But it does come down to our attachment to the material world. So do you need to have 4 cocktail dresses and 3 full-length this and 20 pairs of shoes and 2 mobile phones and, you know, all these things, and then be in debt and then feel like you're in poverty, when really if you didn't delve into the material world or need it or be attached to it so much, you probably would feel more abundant. So I think there needs to be a consciousness shift about what abundance is, because we get really attached to, you know, things, having to have things to equate our status or our wealth. So that needs to create a shift. And, you know, different societies function differently. I mean, back in the day, you know, when people were quite happy eating some potatoes and some leeks and working on the land, and there was a happiness there, and there wasn't really a concern about poverty because there wasn't any extreme abundance to create a poverty mentality. So I'm sure they enjoyed life in a different way. So we kind of have to look at changing our mindset and looking at the abundance that's already around us as opposed to what we don't have. And I think that will start shifting the flow of money or the way money gets distributed through life.
Money itself, though, it can just be a fun thing to use as well, can't it?
Yeah.
If you want to have 10 pairs of shoes all in different colours, there's kind of a joy in there as well, and there's an enjoyment.
Yeah.
Is there anything wrong with that as such?
No, I mean, we're all going to do what we want to do, you know, and there's this journey that we have to honour, you know, our uniqueness and all that kind of thing. I just think we're also living in a place which is very excessive and disposable. So we've kind of learnt that, well, you know, we only need to buy, you know, this shirt, it will only last us for, you know, a couple of washes, and then we can buy another one because they're really cheap, and fashion changes and things break down, and, you know, a lot of the electronics, you know, they're actually built to break down. So we're in a very different society where things don't last. And so there's a big culture of things breaking, we have to dispose of it, we have to get new. Or we have to get the new latest model, or we don't fix our socks anymore. Whereas our grandparents used to darn the little holes in our socks, and we'd wear them for, I don't know, I'm sure they got passed down from brother to sister to brother, and still there's nothing left of them. Yeah. Whereas now if there's a hole, we just throw them away. So I think there's the mindset of being disposable with materialism needs to change.
Because we don't really have the planetary resources to keep up with our own consumption at the moment, do we?
Exactly. And then you stop appreciating things, you stop valuing things.
Right.
They lose their value.
Right, okay. All right, I think we'll leave that there for today. So, in essence, keep saying the positive affirmations if that makes you feel good, but perhaps also look at anything that's blocking them working in your life. Would that be something?
And you know what? It's harder to hold a positive emotional vibration than it is to hold a negative one.
Why?
We're just trained to be fixated on our negative stuff. So I would say practice holding happiness for a whole day. You know, just practice.
Yeah.
Practice holding love. Practice meditating and seeing if you can tune into that vibration of peace, and just hold it. Be in that vibration, be in that consciousness, and that will start to shift things in your life.
Okay, and I immediately just want to ask, so how do I hold on to the vibration of love for a day?
Well, it's not easy, of course, but then what's it going to do? It's going to bring up all the things that you have opposing love within you.
Okay.
You need to observe. So it's a journey.
So to try and get into that space though, do I just think about the people I love, the things I love?
Or you can do things like add rose petals to your tea and then enjoy them, enjoy this more. It's all about enjoyment and gratitudes and experiencing more positive things out of the little things.
Right.
Or
That comes back to that gratitude that gets a lot of mention as well in the Mind, Body, Spirit community.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So enjoy.
All right.
I say fall in love with life.
Fall in love with life. Okay. Thanks, Vanya. Thank you for being here today.
Cool.
If there is anything you would like us to discuss or me to ask Vanya, please, you'll find my email at the end of this video. So drop us an email and we'll see if we can get to it. And thank you for watching today. We'll see you again. Bye.